in my email about this actually. Hopefully that helps grow your group some, because I have a lot of coaches in my audience.
We're frozen there, but we're live. We are live on, let me do this. Okay, we are live.
We're live.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Dallas Piana here. Jump right in. Let me get this out of the way so I can see what's going on. Cancel this. All right. We're still here. Hi. If you're just jumping in, just say hi below. Let me know who's hopping on. If you're catching the replay, #replay. Love to see who is actually catching the lives and who is. Hi, Rosemary.
Hi, Rosemary.
Yeah, and it's special. This is a special day. This is special because I convinced Chrissy August.
That is so sweet. You did
not come here to the group and share her wisdom around copywriting, email, sales. I mean, it's like a full circle here. We're going to talk about how to increase, how to boost your sales using email. But I want to back up a little bit because a lot of people here who are coaches, and they're either health coaches, lifestyle coaches, relationship coaches. I have a lot of people in here who are intuitive coaches. Ooh, and they just don't understand, and so it's a real learning for them to learn about marketing.
Right.
And this is your specialty, is a piece of the big Megillah of called marketing, right? Really, in marketing language, it's called a copywriter. And so I want her to tell us what the heck is a copywriter and how does she help coaches with their copy to actually get clients, increase sales, and how does it improve their marketing and sales?
Yeah.
So let's start from the beginning a little bit.
Okay. So I'm trying to keep that all in my brain. Those goals, it's get clients, make sales. I feel like there was a third one, but I'm thinking copy. What is copy? Your copy is the words that you put in your marketing. So it could be think about your posts, right? So the words that you put in your posts. What's funny is everyone's writing copy now.
Right, but you know what? I think what they're hearing is right content, right? But it's really is what you're doing is you're writing copy for the content.
That's so interesting because there is a conversation that that's content versus copy. And I forget the value of that conversation because I just take for granted, all of us, we take for granted what we know. So I'll just define, because there is a difference between content and copy. It's very small difference. But once you know it, I think it's empowering. So content is informative and copy can also be informative. You can be educating people with the content you write, but as soon as you put a call to action on it, it becomes copy. So when you ask people, yeah, I forget that that's interesting actually. So this is really fun. But so yeah, when you ask somebody to engage in your comments or reply to your email or click a button so that they can learn more, all of those things turn the words that you're writing into copy. And you could see that this is actually a really important skill when you have an online business, because the primary way that you're communicating with your audience is through the words that you write. And it is a skill. It is a skill set in order to be able to write basically persuasively, because that's the goal of that writing is you're trying to get people, you're trying to get people's attention. So you're trying to get them to stop scrolling.
Right.
You're also trying to get people to keep reading, which is not the easiest thing now that everybody, we live in the information age where there's just so much information that there's so much option, somebody's scrolling, how
there's
much
so many distractions.
It's crazy. So I think about it all the time. I'm wow, this is so crazy that you can scroll this many different ideas and voices, and it blows my mind all the time. So anyway, so you need to get someone's attention so they stop scrolling. Then you need them to actually be interested and read. And then you want them to actually be persuaded to take whatever action you're inviting them to take, And so that is a skill. And, you know, like when you get your business to a certain place, you can just hire a copywriter to do it for you.
Right.
But, you know, the clients that I take into my agency, like it's like 5 figures to have like a copyright, like projects are pretty expensive. So what's really cool though, is the truth is you really won't be ready to like have a copywriter, not just financially, but like from the perspective of you need to be able to tell the copywriter, like, who is your audience? What resonates with them? You know what I mean? Like what parts of like, think about on your sales calls. Like, what are the things that you say on your sales calls that get your, I'm actually getting goosebumps thinking about this because I love this so much. Like, I love when you say something on a sales call and you know that the other person's like ears were perking up, or like they were like, whoa, like I really love that feature, or yes, I really want you to help me with that thing, or whatever. You know, when you know that the person is just like you're vibing with each other.
Right. And coaches, you guys are not going to know this unless you do it yourself for a while.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You've
Yeah.
got to do the marketing for yourself for a while on this platform
Yeah.
called, we're here on Facebook, but you also can do it on email, but it's also in the messenger on sales calls. You've
It's
got
all of it.
right. You've got to do the marketing first before you can turn it over to someone
You
for
do.
big bucks and
Yeah.
say, okay, this is the message I want to get across, because they don't know your business and they
Right.
don't know your customer.
Exactly.
So you've got to be able to articulate it to you so you can
Yes.
actually put it into persuasive copy.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, because that's going to be some of the first questions I ask a new client is, you know, if I'm going to write for you, I'm going to ask you, okay, great. Well, like, what does your audience love when you say, what are the few sound bites that you say that your audience just like loves, you know, gets them to take action, makes them want to buy from you. So I think this makes marketing really fun, which is that, it's that journey of like testing, putting a little something out there. And then, you know, like, oh, like this, maybe you post something, because social media is a great place to test your messaging. So let's say you test out, you know, you make a post about something. For example, I made a post about one of my clients who hired me to write her an email sequence. It's like a particular type of email sequence that I write for my clients. And she had me create this for her so she could have like a full like 30 days of real vacation. And my social media audience really liked that post. Like, I was like, what am I? And it was genuine. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, I was celebrating my client. I was like, my client is on 30 days of vacation to Disney World with her kids. This is the online business dream. And so my audience was going nuts. And so what I did was, I was like, oh, like I didn't know people were going to be as excited about that as I was, you know? And so you just never know until you put it out there. And then when I saw that response, now I use that in my marketing all the time. I'm like, oh yeah, my work will help you be able to have a business that can run without you.
Right.
My work, you
Great
know,
tagline, right?
Yeah. And you have those in your business too, like everybody who's listening. But here's what's cool is like, no one can tell you what yours are. I mean, I can help you tweak it. I can help kind of pull it out of you, but it comes from, just like Dallas is saying, and I just really love that, is like, it comes from you like going out and like just interacting with your people, with your audience, and just getting to know them, which is such a fun, it really is such a fun part of the process.
It is. And if we could just, you could step into it and just own it. Own it. It's rocky in the beginning. It's a little rocky because it's uncomfortable and you're not, you know, it's not your expertise. But, you know, for you, you've got to, if you're a coach, you're a people person. Right? You're a people person. You want to help people. So you got, you know, you got to talk to them. And what's so crazy about, we think we have to be so formal on Facebook, but really not. It's very casual. The whole marketing is casual.
Yeah. It's so true.
Much more than it was, you know, 10 years ago or 20 years ago, where marketing was very stiff.
It's so true. Do you know, like one of the main example that's coming to my mind, and this, I hope this doesn't freak everybody out, but it might, I'm just putting this out there. Okay. Is that when I work with people who are like just getting to learn marketing, talk about the, like that stiff marketing is like, they think they like need a business page. And there is a place, whatever, if you want to have one, it's fine. I have one. I never put anything on it, but but that's sort of like that 10 years ago kind of stiff marketing that you're talking about, where you have to be really professional. And now, like, honestly, I'll just be honest, like I've hit like 10K months or whatever, like without a website, right? Like people ask me for a website. I'm like, no, my business just operates off of referrals. I can just get you writing samples, you know? So it's really like, I actually really like that about our industry, is that, of course, there's like kind of pitfalls about that, which is you have to make, anybody can say anything. So you have to make sure you're talking to a real person who like can back up what their claims and what, you know,
Right,
so
right.
that's okay. You know, I like that it puts the responsibility on the consumer, but what's really fun is we're still in an industry that, I mean, it's just, there's so much limitlessness in it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah. And you can be, you know, and what's so great about it is, and we know this, is that you want to differentiate yourself among someone else who may be also doing something similar to you. How
Right.
do you do that? You do that in your personality. You do that with your
Yeah.
words. You do that with how you interact with people. The way I interact with people is going to be different than how Chrissy interacts with
So
people.
true.
And you want to own it, because
Yeah.
people will, they're going to come to you based on your vibration,
So true.
right?
Yeah.
You know, who are you attracting?
Mm-hmm.
Who are, you know, sure, you're going to stop the scroll. We're going to
Right.
talk about that, but who are you connecting with? You know,
Mm-hmm.
where in the customer journey are they, right?
Oh yeah.
Because someone who doesn't really know you, but is kind of watching you, it
Right.
may take them 6 months, a year before they actually work with you in some capacity. But
Yeah.
the point is, you have to spin that plate. You got to keep spinning the plate
Mm-hmm.
for a
Mm-hmm.
long
I want to
time.
say too, like, people are watching. I want to just like affirm you that, like, even if you aren't like feeling like you're getting those likes and getting, you know, like, I don't
Yeah.
know, I've had it happen to me a couple of times where someone on a sales call said like, oh, I watched all your videos. And I'm like, you did? I would have never known. Like, you know, so it's like people are watching. And I think a lot of times the people who most enjoy your content maybe aren't even really engaging.
So even to segue into that, I mean,
Yeah.
I just got a phone message. I couldn't pick it up, but I, you know, was reading it. And, you know, this gal introduced herself to me. She goes, I'm on your email list. I've been watching your emails, and I'm looking for someone to help me with marketing.
Oh my gosh.
You know, can you give me a call? See, I'm like, who is this person?
I love it.
Right? But
Yes.
that's the power of repetition,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Marketing is repetition
Yeah.
over and
Yeah.
over and over, and you just don't know who's going to pop at what time.
Oh yeah. It's so much fun. It's so much fun to like practice like letting go and having faith and trusting the process, like all the things that I
Yeah.
think a coach, maybe we're not, I don't mean to say we, but I work with so many coaches. That's why I just like gave myself like an honorary title. But you know, like I feel like maybe it's not natural necessarily to do those things as a coach, but we definitely, again with the we, but you hear what I'm saying. There is an aspiration to do those things. So anyways, okay.
Yeah.
Should we go into today's
Yes.
tips?
Yes. Let's go into these 3 keys.
Okay, cool. Oh yeah, duh, that's me.
Yes,
Okay,
you.
cool. Oh yeah, that's me. Okay, cool. So I will tell you, you're going to notice I'm going to read a little bit, and that's because I really want to make sure to get these 3 points across. And I don't know, I just get so excited about stuff, and it's like, I want to make sure to get the things in. Okay. So here I'm going to share with you now the 3. Oh, but by the way, Dallas, feel free after I share a point, I would love to hear your feedback. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Okay. So the 3 keys to boost your email sales as a coach. Okay, so the first tip that I have is to add value. This is like things you can do inside your emails. Add value to over deliver. So like the goal here is to wow your subscribers. So like getting them to think like, if this is the free stuff, then how great is the paid stuff, right? So like you want to ask yourself, what can you offer for a quick win? Or how can you help your readers have a mini transformation? Okay, so like 3 ideas, like 3 ways that I could say you could do this is 1, you could offer a tip. 2, you could share a resource, maybe something you've created or something that like you just like really love using, if that's like relevant for your audience. For example, like right? Yeah, exactly. Like my audience loves to like have little like softwares and stuff to edit their work. And so like I could totally share like a link to something that I use in my business. Is that what you're like saying? Like kind of like a meditation app.
Sure.
Your people could totally, right?
Things like, things that you found for free online.
Yeah, exactly.
That actually help give you more power,
exactly.
cut down the time you're spending on doing something.
Yes.
Any kind of resource, though. It can be any kind of resource.
Yeah, absolutely. Because since you're sharing it with them, they're going to see you as the ambassador of that thing. And so therefore you actually get the credit of being like generous. And that's what we're trying to do, is lead with generosity rather than asking first. We're giving first, right? Another thing that you can do, so like the third thing you can do, is to teach something. And so you could do one or all of these right now with your current subscribers, or you can include them in like these three things in a few emails that you send to new subscribers. This is called a welcome series. So not to give you like too much industry jargon, but when someone joins into your list, you can just set up like 3 emails that automatically go out to every single new subscriber. And you know that like in email 1, you're going to share a tip. Email 2, you share a resource, and in email 3, you teach a little something. And so like everyone that is on your list has received value from you,
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. Cool. And it warms people up to you. Oh my God.
Exactly.
From her.
Exactly.
Oh, she really knows what she's talking about. Authority, right?
Oh my gosh. Again with the goosebumps, but that happens to me a lot.
Right.
Which is my tip number 2, is literally build authority.
There we go.
You're good.
There we go.
So yeah. So literally tip number 2 is build authority, which you can do the same thing like you're talking about in those same 3 emails. Okay. And I know like you were kind of talking about earlier, you were kind of implying, and it's true, like this can be kind of scary for people when you say like, oh, build authority. Like, do I need to be an expert? Do I need to be a guru? But like, do you know who Denise Duffield Thomas is? I don't know. She's a money coach, but in fact, I have her book here coincidentally. Anyways, she talks about this concept of being a contributor to a conversation. And I love that. So like, you don't need to be an expert. You don't need to be a guru, unless, by the way, like sometimes that's just like that's like part of like who you are. And that's just how you roll. If that's how you roll, then like totally be you. But if that makes you nervous, then all you have to think is like, how can I contribute to this conversation? And by the way, the conversation that I mean is like, if you go, okay, so this is something that really fascinates me, is like our news feeds on social media, like on Facebook, on Instagram, we think that our Facebook feed is what Facebook looks like, but it's not true. Like that's what your Facebook looks like.
Right.
Right. Like Facebook is reflecting back. Like. Yeah. Right. Oh my gosh. Like if you look at somebody else's Facebook, it is so interesting how different it is. Because Facebook, there's an algorithm that recognizes what you're interested in, and it's reflecting back to you like a ton of that, right? And so what happens is, and it happens to me too, like my brain gets tricked into like wanting to think like everybody's saying the same thing, or like I don't have anything new to contribute to this topic, right? Everything that needs to be said about this has been said already. It's just like not true. And not only that,
good point.
Yeah, it's not true.
Because we also think we're nagging.
Right. Oh my gosh. Right? That's another one. Oh my gosh. Yes. And that's actually my next point, which is your ideal client, even if they're a coach, but seriously, like your ideal client, they're not like my ideal client isn't following a million email marketers. They might have like 2 that they follow. Right. And so I might be the only person talking about that in their newsfeed. Right. Like I might be the only person that they hear talking about that thing. And when I think about what that means for the coaching industry, like, because your industry is there to change lives, you might actually be the only person in their newsfeed who's saying like, think abundantly. This is possible for you. Like that beautiful message that's why I love working with coaches, because it's like your work is transformational, and you might be the only person in their newsfeed who's hearing that, because they're not following 6,000, I don't know, weight loss coaches or whatever. You know what I
Right,
mean?
'cause it's too overwhelming, because basically your clients out there, if you're, let's just say if you're not a business coach,
Mm-hmm.
your clients out there, so if you're a relationship coach, a lifestyle coach, and a health or wellness coach, your people, your clients, what's in their news feed is friends and family. And then you pop in,
Right.
and then
Exactly.
you pop in, and then you pop in. And friends and family, and
True.
then you pop in. So it's
Yeah.
not like you're getting they're bombarded. They may have another a business coach, because they're going to see who they're going to work with, or
Mm-hmm.
who they're going to lose weight with, or who they're
Right.
going to, ask to help them handle a relationship problem. But basically they are not flooded like
No,
we are
no.
with
Yes,
with with experts
it's true.
or contributors, or whatever you want to call us.
Right.
I
Yeah.
love that it's more, because it's been going, for years in the internet, it's been called be the authority, be the
Right.
expert. But
Right.
you know what is, all you have to be is 2 weeks ahead of somebody,
Oh my gosh, it's the truth.
right? All
Yeah.
you have to do, I mean, I come from the medical field, you see one, you do one, you teach one.
Right. Right. I
See
love
what
that.
you teach. You just have to be a step ahead
It's
and
true.
in your hand.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And if you think you don't know what you would want to contribute to a conversation, like I would challenge that. I would say like you can do this simple little exercise. Okay. I love this. I learned this years ago from this like really famous marketer, Gary Vee. But what he says is like go, like let's say before you write a post and you get that feeling like everyone's saying this, I just don't even know, I don't even know, I'm stuck, I don't know what to say. Go look at like your like other people who are in your field, the people you follow, your lighthouses. So like a lighthouse might be is somebody, like I don't know if you're familiar with that term, but like somebody who's like doing what you want to be doing and you follow them because they're like a Mel Robbins or a Brendan Burchard or something, right? So like go look at one of their posts, something that's like captures your interest or whatever, and then just like read through the comments, see what that conversation is. Remember, that's a real conversation, those are real people. And then like what would be like the 2% that you would add to that, or like what's your opinion about that, or like what would you comment? That's your unique perspective, right? And so then you can go and like throw that in an email, throw that in a post, throw it in an email and then put it in a post. Or actually, I would say the opposite. You could put it on a post, see if it hits, and then throw it in an email. Anyways, my point is, this is how you actually do building authority. That sounds easy enough, don't you think?
Absolutely. And you know what? The more you write, the more you post, the more content you put out, the more copy you put out, as we learned the difference between the two,
Yeah.
the easier it's going to be for you to get
Mm-hmm.
your voice.
Yeah, it's
What
true.
is your voice? Are you funny? Are
Right.
you more serious?
Right.
You got to throw in the emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you are serious, you got to throw in the emotion, because emotion sells,
True.
right?
True. Yeah.
Facts tell.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true.
You got to try it on. You got to try it on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you definitely, whether it's live streams, writing, like, I don't know if I would say unfortunately, it can feel unfortunate while you're in the process, but which is that the only way to find your voice is in the doing. You gotta you just have to be doing. And then you figure out like, I don't really like when I do this thing, or, I wish I kind of sound, whatever. So it's tweaking, and I really think it's fun. It's really, really fun. So my third tip to boost your email sales is ask for engagement. So now the thing is, most people talk about asking for engagement when it comes to social media, but I really don't hear people talking so much about that when it comes to email marketing. But actually asking for engagement, even in your emails, is so important. But just like a lot of people don't even really know about this particular thing. So I'm going to share a concept here. Got blurry. I'm going to share a concept here, and hopefully it doesn't go over your head. But like I said, most people don't even know that this is a thing, which is that your email account actually has like a sort of like Google credit. Okay. And so most people get their email from Gmail. So like Google credit does matter. And here's what I'm really talking about. We're talking about the difference between whether your emails go to people's primary inbox or if they land in spam. And so I won't go too deep about this because I know like we're really just still in the space where we're trying to find our voice. But I think really the main thing I was trying to say here is that, or maybe the only thing you really need to know is like in your emails, and you can do this in your social posts too, but we're talking about email. In your emails, encourage people, especially if they're new subscribers, encourage people to hit reply. Like hit reply and tell me like, was this helpful? Hit reply and let me know like, you know, some kind of question that maybe you told a story about something. Like hit reply and tell me like, you know, has your business, because I just sent out an email about like my whole honeymoon or whatever. Has your business have you been able to run your business without you or something? I don't know. Anyways, you see what I'm saying? Because when you ask people for replies, it actually tells Gmail, people want my emails. Like I'm not spamming people. They want my emails. They're opening them and they're replying. And so this actually like boosts your Gmail credit. And one last thing I would encourage you to do with this is when, oh my gosh, because, okay, let me give you the tip before I get crazy excited. But I would also recommend that when someone replies to you, reply back. Because the other day I sent this email and it was the day, maybe it was yesterday, whenever Facebook totally crashed. I was one of those really annoying email marketers and I've heard everybody complaining about it, but I was like, I was totally one of those. I was like, listen, you need an email list. Like Facebook is not working today and you cannot reach your clients. So you need an email list, right? So I emailed everybody on my list and I got like 5 solid leads from that email. So, oh, what was I? That was the part I was getting crazy excited about because that was like very exciting.
You know, so we can, you know, on Google, if you're using Gmail, there's 4 buckets. There's primary, there's promotion, there's social, and then there's updates. You want your emails to land in your client's primary because that means that most people go there. Although I read 45% of people will open up a promotion.
That's very exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. But if you have people reply to your emails, more than likely that email, because there's been exchange between the two of you, will now start to show Google that all your emails after that for that client or that subscriber will go into their primary bucket. The idea is we want people to open up our emails. How are they?
That's the main thing.
Right?
That's really the main thing is you want people to open your emails. And that's really the main thing. And so there are ways that you can get people to do that. It's like on your opt-in page, you can remind people to go confirm their subscription. When people are opening, you can ask them to reply. And then when they do reply back because it just helps people feel like there's a real person behind the email.
There's connection. Yeah.
Because connection, I probably don't have to tell an audience of coaches, but connection sells. Right? Like if people feel like they like you, they buy from you. And I kind of like that might be one of the most important parts of it. So I also have one other tip because I told you to over deliver and I was like, I need to over deliver. I can't tell you to over deliver and not over deliver. So my last tip is you can actually include video in your email. And what I love about this is then you're automating, which is like so fun. You're automating time that your subscribers get to like spend with you because it is the craziest thing, but our brains really can't distinguish the difference between time when we're spending like in person, live, you know what I mean? On a call and that video of you. They still feel like they know you. And you know this because if you've ever met one of your internet friends in person, you're like, I've met enough of my internet friends in person that I actually like have stopped pretending that we're just meeting for the first time. I'm like, listen, we know each other. Okay. Like we talk every week. Like this is not a new acquaintance here. Right. So like our brain feels like, you know, that person. And that accelerates your know, like, trust factor, which accelerates them in the customer journey. And if you do this, like something that I love to teach is doing this like in your first few emails that you send, like we talked about, like the welcome sequence. and just like have like bite-sized videos in like those first few where you share a tip, you share a resource, whatever, or you teach something. You're automating that time spent with you. Then you can send an email where you actually invite them to a sales call, or you can actually sell them something. And do you know, like, I mean, I have like statistics and data and things because I write sequences like that for my clients so often. Those sequences are so successful. And my clients often say that those sales calls close so much faster because in those emails, they feel like they know you.
Right.
It's not a cold call. They feel like they know you. And also,
and not everyone's doing this. So this
no.
is, you know, if you want to be on cutting edge and start doing something different and differentiate yourself, this is a great tip.
Oh yeah, this is really good. These open rates, by the way, because the way I position this is, I'll just share, I didn't mean to share this, but I will, is we'll do it very intentionally where we know that we're creating like a mini email course. So we'll give it a title. Like my title to this one might be, like I just shared 3 tips. So that could be a mini course that I just one little email with one tip, one little email with the other tip. And by the end, I could invite someone to a sales call with me or whatever, right?
Right.
And so, I wanted to say something about the video and I can't remember what I was going to say. Oh, that we'll give it a title. And when someone is opting in, because like, let's say if we say like, hey, do you want my free training on this thing? When they say yes, when they opt in for that, and they're expecting that the first few emails are going to teach them a little something or get them a little win, the open rates on those emails are like ridiculous. Okay. Like ridiculous. They're honestly like a copyright. If you're writing your own emails, you might expect to have like a 10% or lower, 3 to 10% open rate. With a copywriter, you might expect to get like a 20%. Those emails will get like between 40 to 60%. Usually it's like 60% and it starts to taper off to like 40% opens. Why? Because they are like, yes, I want to learn that thing from you. Then they do learn the thing
It's
from
an
you.
expectation too. They're expecting it. They're
Yeah.
waiting for it. Oh,
Yeah.
I've got another email coming. I'm in the
Yeah.
series. I
Yeah.
got to watch it. I got to open it, you
Yeah.
know, and you're building on each email. You're building on what you presented.
You better believe it. And if you like kind of throw in a little bit of like overcoming objections in there, again with the goosebumps, because I get so excited thinking that my clients are like, holy cow, my sales calls are closing so much easier because they know me now. By the time we got on the call, they knew me or they felt like they knew me.
Right.
I already educated them on the problem, and they booked the call after that, and I already addressed their objections in those emails. So I do want to just like put a little plug. Thank you. I do want to put a little plug here and say that this does require some strategy. And I do actually have like a free training exactly like this, actually, where you can learn how to do this. And I give it away. I give you not only the trainings, but I give you templates. So you can actually just like take it and go and do it yourself using my templates. I give that as a free gift when you join my Facebook group. So can I like share the name of my Facebook group?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And I'm sure like later I can just drop the link in the comments, but the name of the group is Almost Passive Income. And I'm sure my name will come up with it. I'm Chrissy Augustina. So when you join the group, I will give you my free training on how to create one of these. They have amazing conversion rates. And yeah, and I give you my templates too.
Terrific.
Yeah.
You guys, if you're watching this, you definitely want to get into that group. You definitely want to get that free resource and start to, you know, you can go back, even if you already have a welcome series, you know, after watching what Chrissy has put together, if you feel it needs to be tweaked, you can go back and alter, change your welcome series. Okay. And as we're getting more sophisticated with email and know what's working, we want to improve, right? It's all about improve, test and improve. So if you're not getting good open rates on your welcome messages, like the first 5, I would definitely hop in there, look what Chrissy is doing and alter it and then see what happens. So what I've been doing also is really monitoring the open rates. Another thing I've noticed is, you know, my engagement in email, in Facebook has gone down, but my open rate in email has gone up.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
I know. It's incredible.
That's really good because you know that people are more likely to buy off of email anyways than than social. I mean, you can't directly sell on social anyway. I suppose you could, but you know what I mean?
In the group you can.
Yeah, in the group you can.
But people, you think that people are not opening emails. They are. They are opening emails.
They are. Yeah. Yeah. It's really, really fun. And it's just it can become a nice intimate space if you're doing some of those things. Like I said, like ask people, because I feel like people just don't think to do that when it comes to email marketing. We know with social, like ask for engagement. We forget to do that with email. And once people start replying to you, it's so exciting. I think that's what I was trying to communicate about the other day when Facebook shut down and I sent that email and I got like 5 people opting into this thing that I was sharing. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, it's just so fun to have people, your audience really talking to you and responding to you in your email. You're like, whoa, this person there's something about it that feels like, I know what it is. It feels more personal because like your inbox is like, people are not, they're just pickier about letting you into that space. Don't you think?
Right. And
people
if
are more guarded with their email.
They open it, they're in your space. You're bringing them down through your story or whatever you're communicating. Rather on Facebook, it's too easy to scroll onto the next. So if you can capture someone's attention on an email, you're so much better off that you're going to close the sale.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's everything. That's all I have to share.
That's great. That's terrific. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me here today.
Great. And we will, when we get off, if you want to go back into the comments and drop the link to your group.
Oh yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for that. I'm so excited to connect with some people from your group.
Yeah, good. And we're going to have her back because as you know, my whole thing right now is email. We're going to push on email.
I love to hear that. Oh my gosh.
Everybody has to increase your building your list, and we've got to email more often. I hope everyone at this stage is at least once a week. If you can do more, please do more. Keep emailing your list.
That's a really good point you made, because I forget that too, that people do kind of wonder, how often should I be emailing? And it's like at minimum once a week. That's like keeping your list warm. Right. And that way, when you do go to sell, you're not just like, hey, haven't heard from me in a while. Like, so at least once a week. And then, anything more than that is definitely at the stage. If you're like at a newer stage, then then you want to build up, obviously. But if you're just starting out, at least once a week. Yeah.
Right. And even it doesn't even have to be, it should be value. Sure. But if you're like hard pressed, just talk about what you did over the weekend.
Oh yeah. Oh, it could be very short. So those are some of my favorite accounts to follow.
People want to know behind the scenes. They want to know what's going on.
Yeah. That's why stories are so popular, like on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
Because people, like everyone, like people want to know who you are. And so, those are some of my very favorite accounts to follow, is when people just share just like random stuff, right? Because then you don't feel your guard goes down and you're not like, oh, this person just wants to, sell to me, right? So it creates a reciprocity.
And you can see, she and I can talk forever about this.
I know, I'm sorry. We'll go. I'll be quiet.
So I'm going to have her back and we'll take another angle on email marketing, which will be
cool.
fun. So yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
Definitely. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
And I'm going to see you in Boise, I think. Yeah.
You'll see me in Boise. I'm so excited for that, because there's going to be so many women email marketers there. But also I believe we're having you on my podcast like tomorrow or something.
Oh yeah. I forgot all about it. It's in my book. I'll look.
I totally get it. Believe me. Okay. So anyways, I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
Bye.